Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aries, October 1st to the 15th, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Now at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the moon, which is Pisces energy. If we have Pisces within our natal chart, that's going to come through very powerfully at our root. Then we have the lovers, which is Gemini energy. If we have Gemini within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully also at our root. Then we have balance. Now balance in the Witch's Wisdom deck, which is what this deck is equivalent to the Wheel of Fortune. We really do see things changing during this time. We have the Messenger of Water enhancing this Pisces energy. Also, if we're born on the cusp with Pisces, this is coming through very intensely at our root and also as the messenger for us. But we're going to be seeing things emotionally a lot differently. We're also going to be getting messages from the most unlikely of places during this time. We then have our emotional self, which we have the Five of Cups, change your mind and change your whole entire life. With the Ace of Swords coming through, cutting through doubts and fears and negativity. This is a gift from God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. Then we have our public arena self with the Six of Cups. Memories, we can tend to be astoundingly nostalgic during this time. Also, the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If we're born on the cusp with Taurus, or if we have Earth sign energy within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully, again, as a messenger, as a learner within our public arena self. So we have the Messenger of Water, we have the Messenger of Earth right here. And those are both going to be very powerful for us. Now let's see the energy we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. We have Scorpio energy. Now this is the death card. Death card is associated with Scorpio energy. We have to be mindful of secrets. Keeping secrets, yes, for ourselves, Aries. We're not actually the best of secret keepers. Some of us can be, but Aries isn't really known for that. But also the people keeping secrets from us. So we can have a tendency to really let things be out there because we're the generals. Aries was the god of war in ancient ancient Greek times. So this is going to be a sense of, I need to know what's out there. I need to know what's going on. And the secrets aren't helping me. So it can be that we purge ourselves from secrets, and we have to be mindful of that habit of secret keeping coming up again. But we also have to be mindful of the secrets that are around us during this time. Now, this reading I'm going to be doing a bit differently than other readings. Instead of just diving right in to everything that the tarot has to say, we're going to be looking at the astrological aspect of this time from the 1st of October to the 15th. So if you want to grab a notebook or, sit back and close your eyes to take in all the information that's coming at you, please feel free to do so, and I would actually highly recommend it. So let's look at our chakra energy before we dive into the astrological aspect of this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Now we have clarity, which is the third eye chakra. We're going to be seeing, and this actually comes up very powerfully, there is Venus is going to meet with the moon in Scorpio when the moon is in Scorpio. So the Scorpio aspect is going to come up, and we're going to see the third eye really playing a prevalent role during this time. So I'm kind of really excited that clarity came up for you, that the third eye came up, because it is so powerful during this time period. And it's just saying here, pay attention, especially to the 9th of October. That is a really great time. It's called the gate of creativity, really starts to open. And that is going to be something very, very, very powerful for us, especially for you right here, Aries. And also Mercury is going to be conjunct Mars. So the element of Mars, which is, again, the warrior god, Mars became Aries, or Aries became Mars when Roman mythology took over, or when the Romans took over Greece. So that's going to be very powerful here, or Romans took over Greek religion kind of thing. So that becomes very, very powerful, very intense during this time. So let's dive into it. The first thing that we start off with is on the 1st of October. We have Mercury squared Pluto, which is a reminder for us to... It makes us go deeper into things that we really want and what we really need. We're going to see that October starts with saying, what do I want? What do I need? What do I love? Yes, that comes right into play on the 2nd. Like, we can really see that coming forward. But remember, this makes us go way deeper into what we need from life. Yes, this is a great time for research. This is a great time for, work and for finding out details. But with Mercury squared Pluto, we can tend to really get lost down the rabbit hole. So we have to make sure that as we set things up, October can be just a really intense month. It can start off super intense, and we can not lose that energy if we're not careful. Now, if we are careful and we know how to utilize that energy of Mercury squared Pluto, we cannot be so kind of drawn into the nitty-gritty details of it all. We can use this as our guide, as our clear side, as our researcher, as our fine detail finder, and really have everything go really smoothly for us, because we're looking at things so much more intensely, so much more deeply than other people are, or utilizing this Mercury squared Pluto in a way that other people aren't going to be. And as the warrior sign, as the general of war, we find ourselves utilizing tools in ways that we think is interesting that other signs don't. So we could really take advantage of this during this time. Yes, again, this is great for research. This is great for work. Now, on the 2nd of October, we have Venus sextile Pluto. Now, we become very passionate during this time. And what's very interesting is that, we start to really follow our hearts. And as with, Mercury squared Pluto, we're really looking at the finer details of things. Now we're like, okay, you know what? It's all about what I love. It's all about my hobbies. It's all about my family, my friends, my pets, things that bring me really great joy. Now, we will feel things a lot more deeply during this time and during this day, and we have to be kinder to ourselves because of this. On the 3rd of October, Mercury is going to be trine Jupiter. This brings a wider point of view and can actually bring a really fun outlook, because we have this elasticity of mind. We have this curiosity of being, and everything is just a bit exciting. So this is great energy for planning for the future, and it really helps us run things smoothly, like see how to plan things out so that it could be as smooth as possible. Actually, if we have anything big to plan, I would really suggest doing it on the 3rd of October. Now, the 6th of October, the new moon is in Libra, which brings new beginnings, and there will be a separate video of this there will be a separate video of this new moon. Now, also, Pluto is going to be going direct. Now, for those of us who are planetary alignment sensitive, or who are just more sensitive, we really feel this, because with Pluto going direct, okay, we're coming out of this retrograde that has us leaving behind this feeling of fear of letting go, of, releasing control. We could have found that we really felt like, I just need to control everything. I just need everything to be exactly right. I don't want it to be perfect, but if it could just naturally be perfect, that would be awesome. We're going to find ourselves releasing that. And that can actually be very stressful, because we're just going to feel ourselves letting go. And it makes us a bit more, it can actually make us feel like there's a bit of a void, because that worry, that fear, that doubt isn't there. With the direct, we have these strong feelings towards ambition and focus and our need to empower ourselves. What we're going to see here is that we're keen on challenging ourselves and starting to find new avenues and adventures and ways to embrace success and push ourselves forward. We will also be embracing change and a much more easygoing attitude. And again, we can find it draining to actually let go of the energy of Pluto in retrograde, let go of that retrograde that made us fearful, that made us overwhelmed. And we can find it a bit challenging, even though it sounds silly to say, but to embrace calm and to embrace peace. Now, on the 7th of October, Venus moves into Sagittarius energy. Now, this brings a live or let live, live and let live attitude, but it also brings a don't tell me what to do attitude. So on the 7th of October, if we can take this day off, if we can kind of make sure that this day is a little bit more us-centric, that's going to be really important, because we want to find peace, and we can feel that it's a bit challenging to find peace. And also, just there's a sense of, I want change. I want things to be a bit different. So if we can take the 7th of October and embrace something different, embrace something, more in aligned with what we want to do that day, that's going to be great. On the 8th of October, the sun is going to be conjunct Mars. Now, this brings us this hero energy, and we feel like we can do anything, but we have to watch out for having a hot temper. On the 9th of October, as we stated earlier, Venus is going to meet the moon in Scorpio. And this opened the third eye chakra and brings this intense insight and awareness. We already have the third eye chakra around us. We're already more, opened and intense than maybe we had been before, or maybe even than we're used to. But as this third eye opens, as we embrace this third eye energy, as we embrace this knowing and this seeing and this understanding, this is known as the gate of creativity. This is known as, the opening up of these gateways to be able to create something astounding. And that's what we really want within our lives. Now, Mercury is also going to be conjunct Mars, which means that we are quick of mind, wit, reflexes, but we also have a bit of a sharp tongue. So we have to be mindful of that. We're also going to be very direct and not sugarcoat things. And Aries, we tend to be direct already. So we're going to have to be mindful of that during this time, that our temper might get the best of us, or just the frustration that other people aren't seeing what we ourselves are seeing, aren't seeing the vision that we have. That can be really annoying. On the 10th of October, Saturn becomes direct. We become more focused on our responsibilities and getting the job done. We're more down to earth during this time. We're more aware of our limitations, but not in that bad way, but in the sense of, these are my limitations. This is what I'm really good at. This is what I'm not. I'm not overwhelmed by it. These are just facts. And I'm adapting and working around it and aligning myself with success through being open and honest with me. This is great for long-term goals, and to be clear and practical, to clear out all the nonsense, and just to be very practical about the way that we want to move forward and what we desire. On the 13th of October, Venus is sextile Saturn. It's time to be around family and friends and things that we love. This is a time to really embrace what we love. We may be more self-sacrificing during this time, but only for our long-term goals and goods and long-term relationships. Now, this could be with people, this could be with work. We have to make sure that what we're sacrificing for these long-term relationships and these long-term goals, understand our sacrifice. We don't have to say it to them like, 500,000 times, but understand the work that we're putting in, the sacrifices that we're making, the time and the effort, because if this isn't met with respect, this can be very frustrating. This can be a very frustrating time for us. Now, on the very last day of this, of this time, from the 1st to the 15th, on the 15th of October, we have the sun we have the Sun trine Jupiter, which is amazing. This makes us lucky and generous and happy, and we almost feel larger than life, and the energy around others is this larger than life, like really great energy to be around. We can bring this intense spiritual awakening in self into all situations, and our love for knowledge and sharing is just so on point. It's just so on point that we can find that we have these great conversations on the 15th and around the 15th, that energy is just so powerful for us. Now, we can also have a tendency to be a little bit too generous and indulgent with others and ourselves. So we have to be mindful of that. The 15th of October can just feel like I want to have a great big party, and I want to be as generous with everybody, and I want to be as, self-indulgent with myself as I possibly can. We have to be mindful, and we do have to be practical about things. Now, we start off this time with our rooted energy being that of the moon. We're starting to see in between the shadows, or we're starting to see the shadows as what they are. They're not monsters, they're not boogeyman. They are this sense of the hidden, the revealing, the greater understanding. And we're going to have a tendency to really not like the shadows during this time for one reason or another. We want things to be very clear cut. But because of the planetary alignment during this time, because of everything that is coming our way, secrets are important. Not the hoarding of secrets, not the keeping of secrets, but the understanding of secrets. And yes, we have parts of ourselves that we don't want to share with the world, and that's absolutely great, absolutely normal. What we have to do here is have ourselves be illuminated by the softer, gentler light. Have ourselves see ourselves not in the harshness of the day or not in the chaos of the day, but in the quiet, contemplation of the night. When the night songs can be around us, we can be stepping into that energy, that insight, that understanding, and our eyes can be opened. And it leads us to the lovers. It leads us to this place of saying, what do I love? And why do I love it? Do I love it because it is what I'm expected to love? Because it has this wonderful kind of catchphrase or allure to it that I think will make people see me in a different light? Or do I love it because I'm genuinely called to it? Because I understand its darker underbelly, or, its softer underbelly, the weakness of it, and I understand the beauty and the complexity of it. I take it for good times and for bad. And does that really stand true with me during this time? So when we answer the call of the lovers, here we have this beautiful, kind of siren calling in the sky. And underneath, it's all bones, and we have skulls. And so what is first seen is not what is truly there. And so when we have ourselves during this time embracing what we love, the ideal of it is one thing. The reality of it is quite another. So are we falling in love with truth? And are we willing to see the multifaceted different layers of that truth? Or do we only want the surface value? Do we only want what is pretty and alluring at this moment? And we have to be honest with ourselves with this, because sometimes we just want, instant beauty, this instant beauty and splendor and opulence. Let's go with that. Or do we want to know it deeper? Do we want to know what we love deeper? Even though we'll get to a point where we might not love it, or we might not see it in the same light, or, it loses its mystique. And that's going to be important for us during this time, because everything is changing. And it's because we're becoming more aware, more connected with the world around us, with what we want, with what we need, where we're headed, why we're headed there. This is balance, and balance is the wheel of fortune. Everything changes, and we learn where our footing is again. We learn how to find our inner balance, our inner call, our inner harmony. And as we find that balance within ourselves, we find this connectivity that was missing before. We find this passion and this power and these insights and these ideas that start to open up the door, that start to guide us forward in a very real way, in a very open and honest way. And it leads us here to finding the balance within ourselves, even to that which is scary, which is, holding our hand out to that bear, to be able to say, there's more here than meets the eye. I'm embracing more than I knew I wanted. And I'm finding this courage within me, even if I feel like, life is a bit of a roller coaster right now. Even though I might be shaking in my boots internally, externally, I'm bringing forward this confidence, this determination, this focus, these insights, these ideas. And it leads us to the messenger of water. It leads us to this sense of knowing more, of gaining a greater understanding, of finding, inspiration in the most unlikely of places. But the messenger of water says, dive deeper. dive deeper and get to know more. It makes us a student. It has us carrying these messages, gaining this understanding, gaining these ideas that push the envelope, that lead us forward in a very real, very open, very intense way. We're called towards more, and we're embracing more and more as we move towards our goals, as we move towards what we desire, as we look at things. Inwardly, we're starting to say, my emotions matter. My heart matters. And though we don't want to be ruled strictly by our emotions, just as we do not want to be ruled strictly by our hearts, we are finding this balance within us. We're looking at things with openness and honesty and curiosity, and not berating ourselves for not knowing everything. We can tend to think as an Aries, I'm supposed to be in control of the situation. I'm supposed to know things. I'm supposed to be determined. I'm supposed to be focused. I'm supposed to have the answers. And one of the best things that we can do for ourselves as an Aries is to embrace the questions, to embrace the unknown, to say, all right, there is so much complexity here. Let me see what's developing. Let me see how I feel about this. Let me look at myself emotionally and spiritually and openly and honestly. And as we do, emotionally, we start to change our minds and change our lives. Because instead of looking at our failures, at our hurts, at our pains, at our disappointments, we start looking at our beauty. We start turning around and seeing the unity of the Two of Cups, this healing, beautiful love that guides us forward, that opens up the door to us, that says, you know what, everybody makes mistakes, nobody's perfect. That's what life is about. And as we embrace that healing, we start to heal emotionally. We start to turn away from the darker side of things. The angrier side of things, the side that keeps us in shadow, or we can say that the side that keeps us in pure light, because whatever is absolute, either it's absolute darkness or absolute light, is sensory overload for us and makes us shut down as human beings. And so we start to turn from it and say, well, what is it that I need? What is it that balances me? What is it that brings me unity? What is it that brings me a greater understanding? I need this during this time. Our hearts can tend to look at our failures. We can really tend, and it starts off with Mercury squared Pluto. We really tend to want to have all the answers, dive into things deeply and rightly, and just follow it forward to its natural conclusion. And again, we can tend to go too deep down that rabbit hole and only see our scars, only see our hurts and our pains, because those are the easier things to see. Turning away from this now and saying, I'm embracing my unity, I'm embracing my healing, I'm embracing what I love, I'm opening up my third eye openly and powerfully to myself, and being able to say, this is what I need, this is what I love, this is what I want. And it brings us then to the Ace of Swords, to God, Source, Spirit, however we see the divine, the universe, cutting through doubts and fears, hurts and pains and disappointments. There's going to be something around words during this time. There's going to be something around thoughts. Now, it can be because of Mercury retrograde, most definitely, which goes up to the 18th of October and then turns direct from the 18th to the 2nd. What we're going to see here is that there's something around words, thoughts, something around something that we're not really communicating with ourselves as openly, as honestly as we should be, that during this time we just cut through it. We're like, you know what, enough is enough with the lies, enough with the doubts, enough with the fears, enough with the kind of covering for somebody else type of thing, even if it's just for our past selves, saying, oh, this could have worked out, or, oh no, I didn't make a mistake then. Sometimes we do make mistakes. We are human, and to err is to be human. To make mistakes is to be human. And so we accept that, and we cut through the doubts, the fears, the negativity. We embrace the beauty and the weapon that is our mind and our words and our strength of communication and being and insight and thoughts. And that leads us to the Six of Cups. It leads us in the public arena to understanding that memories can be fantastic, but they can also hold us in the past. And the past is beautiful at times, but the past is also where we gained a lot of our scars, a lot of our hurts, a lot of our disappointments. And so when we're looking at things now, we're saying, you know what, no. The negative attitude of the past, the negative words that were spoken over me, and that's what a curse is. We have this big hugaboo about curses, but a curse is negativity that was spoken over us, that went into our mind, that went into our being, and made us think that we couldn't. And here, it's like, yes, I actually can. I actually can. I see the hurt and the pain that I carry. I see the years that I've carried it for, and I release it, because I'm no longer defined by it. We also look at those loving, beautiful moments of the past, maybe with people who aren't around anymore. And we understand that we cannot dwell there, because we're going to have a tendency to want to dwell there, to want to say, but it's so beautiful, I don't want to leave. I don't want to enter back into a world of pain, of hurt, of disappointment, of doubt, of despair. And what Spirit is saying is that you don't have to enter into a world of hurt. What we have to do is take the beauty of the past, but also the anger and the hurt of the past, and move forward into the present, powerfully, knowingly, and determinedly, to say, this is me, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is who I am. And it brings us then to being a student of our prosperity. It says new experiences here with the Page of Pentacles. It's new experiences because this is again being the student. This is again, embracing the ideas and the introspection and, having the doors open to us in ways that only come from just unadulterated curiosity, that only come when we're not afraid to ask the questions, when we're not afraid to push the boundaries. And as we do this during this time, we become a student of our prosperity, of our power, of our insight, of our ideas, of the way we move forward and the way that we want to move forward, the way that we don't want to move forward, the riches that we want within life and the riches that we had thought we wanted, but realized aren't for us. And so as we embrace this within ourselves, as we embrace ourselves, we start to see things more openly, more honestly, and more clearly. And we become students during this time of what exactly richness is and what exactly that looks like for us, because it's not the same for everybody. And it sounds odd to say I become a student of what wealth is for me or what I value as much as money, but that's what we're doing. We're becoming the student of how I move forward in prosperity. What is prosperity for me? What have I been nurturing? The seeds that I've been nurturing within my heart, within my soul, within myself. And it moves us now to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is being mindful of people who are successful, but don't follow the same energy vibration as we do. Don't have the same passion and power and insights and ideas as we do. We're going to want to align with them because we're really drawn to success, or we're going to want to align with something because we think it should be right, but it's just not energy-wise right for us. And we have to honor that within us and honor what, our bodies and our spirits are telling us. Our subconscious chakra energy is self-mastery. Now, this is the solar plexus chakra. We're finding ourselves coming into alignment with ourselves, becoming more open, becoming more honest, becoming more passionate with us and what we want. And as we align with what we desire within our lives, we align with who we are and where we want to be and how we want to walk forward into our world. There's a sense of more confidence coming around us, the sense of, my energy means something, taking time to ground myself to the earth, taking time to do self-care, taking time for me aligns me with power, because it aligns me with raising my energy vibration and kind of washing away the negativity, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment of the world around us. It moves us then to our subconscious rooted self. And this is not temperance. This is death, which is the energy we're told to be mindful of, but here it is also the blessing. Now, this is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. This is all about, rebirth, rechanneling of energy, this sense of, I'm not the same person I was when I started this journey. Now, this could be at the very beginning of our existence, but this could also be that at the beginning of October, we're not the same person we are at the mid of October. We've seen things differently. We're seeing things differently. We're embracing different energy. We're embracing different ideas and ideals, and we're opening up the door in a very real and very powerful way. And as we do this, it brings us to our subconscious inner self, and that is offering. This is Virgo energy within the Witch's Wisdom deck, but this is also a sense of offering to the earth that which heals and cleanses and excuse me, has strong and lasting power. Offering to the earth the planting of a tree, the planting of the self, the understanding of energy and connection and wisdom and brilliance. The act of caring is going to be everything during this time. And as we embrace the act of caring, the act of nurturing, the act of acceptance, we also embrace the act of turning into ourselves and seeing what we need, what we want, and why we need it, and why we want it. It then moves us to our subconscious emotional selves, and that is the Page of Fire. We come through during this time always as a student. Yes, no, we didn't have the Empress. Yes, we have the Death card here. We're the person who is reborn, but we're reborn into our power, into our understanding. And that rebirth brings us to this childlike state, to this sense of the leaving behind, of thinking I have all the answers, and the being able to embrace the endless questions, the curiosity, the insights, the ideas, the determination, the focus, the power that is. And we're going to see that messages come to us in the most unlikely places. But messages come, and there's going to be one distinct one during this time. Now, it has to do around our fear and around movement forward. It has to do around gaining a greater understanding of who we are and what we want and where we need to be. It leads us then to our subconscious public arena message, and that is the Three of Pentacles. Nothing is gained totally by ourselves. We have to work with others, even if that working with others is working with the different aspects of ourselves: the child, the adult, the wisdom, the elderly, the elder part of us, the wisdom. So this becomes the sense of, I'm embracing the different stages of my life. I'm embracing the different stages of my understanding and what I desire and where it is that I need to be. And I am moving forward in this balance of me, in this beauty of me, in this complexity of me, but also knowing that we need to work with others. We can't just hold our ideas solely to ourselves. To have a sounding board, to have somebody to work off of, that's going to be great, even if it's just connecting with spirit, even if it's just, sitting there and kind of journaling out our ideas or talking out our ideas, and then being able to see how they all fit together. That's going to be really powerful. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. Now, before we end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of the negative energy and a raising of our positive energy, let me know what you think of this new style of incorporating the astrology with the tarot. I am really loving it. It's making this exciting and fun and different, which is absolutely great. New ways to bring the messages and a more complex and deeper way to bring them to you guys. And again, I am really enjoying this. Okay, so now let's clear away the negative energy, raising our own positive energy. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries.